Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Joe. Welcome back to another episode of the Inside Our Phillies podcast. It turns out the Phillies can still lose series. They won, six series in a row before they dropped two out of three to the Cincinnati Reds this week in Philadelphia. Here to talk all about it, we have Jeremy, SJ Phillies fan. How are you doing today, man?
Doing well. I mean, when we had previously talked about this upcoming series, this is pretty much exactly how we expected it to go.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
It does make it easier to swallow though when Kyle Schwarber doesn't play for this entire series like that. You can reason it away with that, right?
yes, definitely. But it's a shame because after we won the first game, if we could just won the series, we could have clapped back at all the Reds fans that were making memes when we had our slow start.
This is true. They won the Painter game too, right? Like let's just jump right into that because I think there's a lot of mixed opinions on Painter. Still seems like he has the kitty gloves out for him a little bit. Only threw 69 pitches, but he did get across 6 innings, so pretty efficient stuff there. Um, but the number that strikes out to me is the three strikeouts. Painter has not missed bats. He continues to not miss bats, and I just kind of think that this is an issue.
Definitely, he was supposed to be a strikeout guy, ugh, but he hasn't been that. I mean, hopefully, it comes with improvements. He's not the first top prospect that has struggled with like this. We're we're in an age where everything is scrutinized for these young guys if they're not stars immediately.
Yes. Yeah, the expectation shouldn't be that, he's some kind of ace right off of the bat. I'd say he's performing like a five starter, right? Like the ERA is a little bit under six, 5.77, and to me that sounds like about right, about fair. Like he is an average, maybe slightly below average fifth starter, but that's really all that he has to be.
Yeah, yeah, that is all he has to be. Someone who just doesn't get blown up every game like Nola.
Yeah, let's go into that. It's okay to skip around because I think Nola's the big thing that people are talking about. Aaron Nola got hit hard today. He got through 5 innings. He continues to be a little bit of a Chad innings eater, eating up innings even when he kind of sucks. But he got tattooed. Um, the line tells you he only allowed 4 runs, 8 hits. But it seemed a whole lot worse than that watching it live, didn't it?
Yes, definitely. I didn't get to watch this one though, so I'll take your word for it. But all the game day was everything was in the middle of the plate.
Yeah. Yep. The problem with Nola, and this is the thing that I heard that Larry Anderson brought up on the broadcast today, is that when he misses, he doesn't really miss down. He misses in places that allow him to get hit very
Yeah,
hard, and that's kind of just what we're seeing more and more.
yeah. When Nola gets hit, he gets hit up. It's really annoying.
Yeah,
Misses up.
you look at his Savant page, and it's pretty blue. His pitching run value is fifth percentile this year. He's below average at xERA, expected batting average, average exit velocity, strikeout percentage is the only thing that's like a little bit above average that's notable. But this is a pitcher that might be cooked, which is just heartbreaking to say.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he can figure something out with Gotham that can fix his mechanics so he'll miss down. But until then, I don't know what we do.
Yeah, I mean, Cotton's been here for however long, and if Nola hasn't learned it now, why would he learn it all of a sudden? Like it just doesn't seem
Yeah,
likely.
yeah. It's not good. It is not good at all, and it's just really annoying because
I got
Nola does not have any composure on the mound either, which I think makes things worse.
I got this message from friend of the podcast, Giles, early in the game today. I think it was like maybe the second or third inning. Dude, I think there's a very real chance Nola doesn't pitch again for the Phillies after this year, especially if there's a lockout next year. Mainly if there is one next year that kills the whole season. This isn't even like Castellanos where you could still say that he kind of hit lefties or something. There is nothing redeeming here. What's your
I
take on that?
he will still be here. Just too many years left. And if they can find anything with him, maybe he can be a long reliever.
Yeah,
They'll do it.
yeah. I kind of understand where Giles is coming from, and I think that like in an ideal world, you can pull that trigger. But I just highly doubt they're going to eat that money, right? Like if they didn't eat Taiwan Walker's money until part of the way through this season, if they didn't eat Nick Castellanos' money until just before this season started, and after they tried every possible avenue, I think Nola is stuck here for quite a while still.
Yeah, was it 4 more years after this?
I
Yeah,
think, sadly.
yeah, yeah. Oof. Yeah, yeah, dude. It's just a shame. Yeah, first year of the contract, he was great.
And then it kind of just all fell apart. But like the thing with Nola, when you look at his like Savant page and then you look at it over time, and like you wonder like, hey, what's really the thing that killed him? He's never had a good fastball, right? That's not anything that surprises us.
It's the
Um,
but it's the location of the he can't locate the fastball anymore.
yeah, yeah. No, you're spot on with that. And it just
And
you can tell that over time he's gotten hit harder and harder and harder, and when he gets hit harder, his ERA balloons, and he doesn't really have the stuff to miss bats regularly. Um, so what's really there at a certain
I mean,
point?
he's still striking out 9 per point. So it really feels like this could be fixed mechanically, but maybe he could be just a stubborn asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I, I don't know. Aaron Nola doesn't seem like the type of guy to me that would be super stubborn. Like he seems like a pretty
Yeah,
chill, go with the flow. I mean, that could be completely wrong, but like that doesn't seem like Nola to me.
his FIP also is a lot better. It's under 5, his FIP. So there's
It's like
still
four and a
hope
half,
that
right?
something. It's 4.8, but that was before today. So it could go, but still, it's lower. So there is hope that he could go down, possibly
Yeah,
regression.
yeah. No, I think that that's
But
probably
yeah,
true.
even today, it was one bad inning. So I don't know what they do to fix it.
Yeah, it's very Luzardo esque, isn't it? Like the way it can just fall
Yeah,
apart sometimes.
yeah,
Speaking of Luzardo, other starter in this series, then we have plenty to talk about. Bullpen, definitely a lot to talk about with the bullpen. But Luzardo was like fine, right? Like he only allowed 2 runs over 6 innings, but like it didn't look like it usually looks with Luzardo. But to me, this was very early season Sanchez like, where stuff is not great that day, but he fights through it and puts up a respectable pitching line nonetheless.
yeah. It's basically what you hope if he's not going to be dominant is just to beat that. So I'll take that over the blow up.
Yeah, I mean to be honest with you, I'm pretty much completely willing to flush Tuesday's game, with like the exception of Tanner Banks. I think Tanner Banks is a little hard to flush, but like Chase Burns looked electric. He looked absolutely insane. And then aside from Banks, like I was fine with the way the team looked. Like it was not an upsetting game in the slightest on Tuesday, and I just don't even know how much there is to really talk about it.
No, yesterday's game, yeah, exactly. You can't win them all. That was you're facing an A guy has a 1.83 ERA, clearly one of the best young pitchers in the league. I will say it was annoying. Just, I mean, even the first game. This whole series. My main problem is they were kind of doing what they do when they aren't scoring in games. They're swinging at balls that are nowhere close, and they're just being impatient, and it's just really annoying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, the Reds have like a pretty nasty rotation, right? Like they have Chase Burns, obviously. Hunter Green is on the injured list right now, but he'll be back probably middle of the season. Andrew Abbott had a great year last year. Nick Lodolo, he's not bad. Like the Reds have like a sneaky, very good starting rotation.
Yeah. And I know it's so easy to just be like, I'm listening to the radio and then looking at the game to get the pitches, and it's just like, oh my god, that's clearly a ball. Why are you swinging at that? Obviously, it's spin. Everything is different. But I just wish in the dugout they would be like, "Okay, guys, you're swinging at everything like this that over here. Try to pick up the spin, please."
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. And let's kind of go to the bullpen a little bit. I think this is one of the more upsetting parts to me, and I think this is kind of continuing to show a little bit of the concerns. I know I've gone back and forth quite a bit on the bullpen, but like these lefties are just not good. You go back to Monday's game, and Alvarado was not sharp. He couldn't get through his inning of work. He allowed a run over that. Um, Banks, he struggled pretty heavily coming in relief of Luzardo. Really kind of blew the game open to a certain extent, especially when you're going against a pitcher as good as Chase Burns was. That game kind of felt insurmountable after Banks loaded the bases. And then you look at the game today, and Timeza, again, from the left-handed side, he struggles. Kerkering also struggles. Alvarado struggled once again. And really, aside from the Kerkering part of it all, the lefties were just not doing it in the bullpen in the slightest.
No, no, it's just very frustrating. They can't throw strike. So annoying. Come out, throw strike. It not even them. I mean, Brolin came in and walked the guy the bases loaded, and it's just very
Yeah, but
frustrating. I hate when guys come out of the bullpen and they can't throw strikes.
it's
Throw strike.
frustrating. But he got put
And
into a terrible situation when like
he did.
he's
He did. But I'd rather someone get killed by throwing a meatball than walking a guy. Make him beat you.
sure. I mean, he's not like the fireman type though, right? Like some of them like the top end of the bullpen, right? Like a Duran, if you want to call Kerkering in there or whatever. Like those guys, I kind of expect them to maneuver their way out of those situations. I never thought that Jonathan Bolin was gonna get us out clean.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, the defense didn't help Harper.
No.
So many bad decisions in that game. But in today's game, Kerkering, like he cannot come in with anyone on. I don't know how many times we need to try this.
Yeah. It's just the same thing, right? Like the small sample that we had in the beginning of the season kind of suggested he might have figured it out. But it turns out he definitely didn't.
No, it's always the backbreaking. We got within one, and then he just comes in and then blows it. It's just so annoying.
He finds a way to make it as painful as possible somehow.
Yeah.
But
Eh, wait, with today's, I'm curious. What any of them? None of them were earned today, right? For
uh
him.
Kirkrings, one was.
Yeah. So that's always like you get the thing with freaking relievers. Oh, God. Okay, MLB, you are a terrible website. I hate how they do everything horizontally.
It's all meant for the phone. People aren't supposed to look at things on computers anymore, man.
Oh God. But anyway, yeah, Kerkering, yeah, his ERA is 2.6, but really he gave up two because it was two out and he gave up a meatball. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you mentioned about Harper, I kind of want to go off on this for a reason,
Do it.
for a moment, because I think people don't give enough credit to Bryce Harper's move to first base as kind of being something that had a significant impact on, number one, the length of this team's window, and number two, their ability to maximize their chance to win a World Series in the window. Two of the complaints that we've heard so often about the Phillies recently is, number one, they don't have any righties that can hit the ball in the outfield, or anybody that can hit the ball in the outfield at all, except for Marsh. And then number two, they haven't really been able to get impact bats in the offseason that kind of can get them over the top and make their offense a plus offense, because it's just not one right now. And if Harper was still in right field, that would truly solve both problems, right? Like Bryce Harper had a fantastic bat for a right fielder. Was he a great defensive right fielder? No, but you didn't need him to be, because you can take that with the bat, right? Like, people always say defense up the middle, offense on the corners. It's fine. It's as similar as what it is with first base. But I would actually argue that Bryce Harper's first base defense is quite a bit worse than his right field defense. In right
Yeah,
field, he had. Go ahead.
yeah, no, it's frustrating because it's not what you would expect. Like he's good at picking the ball, and he's good at the routine stuff. It's decision making.
It's the decision making and it's the range, right? Like I don't know if I've ever seen somebody come up empty on a dive more in my entire life.
Yeah, yeah,
But he grades out as one of the worst defensive first basemen in the league, which like, if you hit like Bryce Harper, okay, like that's fine. But if you're going to be bad defensively, I would rather have him be bad defensively in the outfield because there is a dearth of right-handed hitting outfielders right now. Right? That's just the way it is, and we have to accept it. But there's not really a dearth of right-handed first baseman. Right over this last offseason, the Phillies could have signed Pete Alonso. They could have signed Christian Walker the year before that. Right? I could go on for multiple off seasons. But it seems
yeah.
like,
But let's not act like Alonso is lighting the world on fire. You really want to be stuck with him for 4 more
well,
years?
essentially what you're doing is you'd be having Alonso instead of Garcia. And I would definitely
Yeah,
have Pete Alonso over Garcia.
yeah. But were you going to offer him 33 million a year this offseason? Last offseason, whatever.
I mean, I would consider it. I would strongly consider that because at the end of the day, the problem the Phillies are running into is that they aren't able to take that next step. And I think even Adolis Garcia at his best right now is not helping the Phillies take the next step, right? Like he's just going to be maybe a little bit better than Kepler so far. You can argue he's been worse than Kepler, especially with the cold streak he's in right now. And I just think the Phillies have to maximize their top end.
Yeah, yeah. You're not
And,
wrong.
and I know a lot of people are listening to this right now saying, what about the injury concern? You didn't go back to right field because of the injury concern. And to that, I have two things to say. Number one, we see pitchers come back all of the time and they still pitch after Tommy John and they throw just as hard. There are literal studies on this, and that is the way it is. There are also, other position players that get Tommy John on a pretty regular basis, and they go back to their position. So I don't understand what is so different about Bryce Harper or so different about the organization in terms of how they're, handling this, that they don't trust him to go back to right field. Did something bad happen with the surgery that means he has to play first base now? I don't know, because he can still throw the ball hard at first base to home or whatever when he has to. Is it because he is reckless and they don't want him to, slam into a wall and hurt his shoulder or something like that? Like maybe, but like we've seen Bryce Harper be reckless at first base too, and I think that at the
Yeah, I
point
was
that the
gonna
Phillies,
say I feel he's been closer to injuring himself at first base with his aggressive playing when he's gone over the railing multiple times.
yeah, and there's like fluky stuff that happens at first base, right? Like somebody steps on you and there's like a bang bang play at first base. Somebody,
Well,
you have
remember Hoskins needed a Tommy John surgery too?
well, you have your arm outstretched and somebody runs into your arm, like you had arm
Yeah,
injuries like that. There's like one a year. Like, fluky stuff happens. This is baseball. Unless you're DHing Bryce Harper, like I want him to be giving the most value to the team. And even if the risk of injury is slightly higher in right field than first base, which I have not seen any evidence that that is the case, I think that that slight increase in risk would be worth the improvement in the offense, having like a real right-handed threat at first base instead of Adolis Garcia hanging out in right field.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say no.
It boggles my mind. And the other thing that just bugs me so much about it is whenever you criticize the way that the Phillies are handling this, people act like you're crazy. People act like you're completely out of your mind because do you not care about Bryce Harper's health? That is the most important thing. And like obviously his health is important, but the health is a resource to win a championship. And if you're not setting yourself up the best way to win a championship when you're in your decline, and the Phillies are in their decline from their window, like, what are you doing? Adolis Garcia is sitting here, a third of the way into the season, and he is negative 0.5 WAR. Like, this guy is not that playable right now, which is sad. I was a big believer in him going into the year, but his OPS plus is 69. I don't care if he makes
Nice,
cool
nice.
plays in right field like he did the other day. He's here to hit the fucking baseball, and he's not hitting the damn baseball.
Yeah, I still want Long gone. No one, Stott and Bohm have gotten better, but like it was impossible to do worse. And yeah, I don't. Yeah, I want Long gone.
With Bohm especially, credit where due, right? Like Bohm has done his job. He's having a nice hitting streak. He's gotten himself back to, 0 WAR for the season, which considering he was almost at -1 WAR, that's a big deal, right? Like, Bohm's season stats still look bad, but considering where he was, I'll take where he is now.
Yeah, he homered again today.
He did, yeah. And I don't want to act like I think that the sky is falling, because I don't think that the sky is falling. I think that there are plenty of reasons for hope and for optimism and all of that fun stuff. And at the end of the day, especially with Schwarber not playing in this series, like, it's okay. You're not going to win every single series, and knowing that Schwarber wouldn't have played, I certainly would have expected them to lose this series. But it's just the way that the Phillies go about things that, like, it drives me crazy. Like, there's like the Phillies mafia, and if you think in a different way from the Phillies mafia and the way they want you to think, it's like the Phillies hitmen come out for you online and they just come attack you for your opinion. It's it's just something I am so tired of.
Yeah, yeah, and then everyone is afraid to face that some things are not good and that can be improved. We shouldn't accept hot streaks and not the build and improvements.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. One guy I want to talk about, call out here a little bit, is JT. Right? Like, it seems like there's been like a distinct effort to have Real Muto play less this year. What's your take on that, Jeremy?
Uh, it doesn't bother me because all the catchers can't hit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, JT probably is still a better hitter than like Stubbs or Marchand, right? But
I'm not so sure.
his OPS plus sits at 63. Not great. Doesn't feel very fluky either, right? Like, this feels like he's hitting about how you'd expect watching the games.
Yeah, I guess. Uh, it's just very frustrating. Very, very frustrating.
It goes back to the whole construction of this team with the way that Dombrowski just gave Romito a third fucking year for no reason. And again,
Oh
I
no,
know,
no, yeah. It was because they told him, "Oh no, we're moving on," right? Without having signed Bichette.
but he's going to still take the 2-year deal. He wasn't getting that anywhere else. The Phillies already were the
I know,
highest offer.
I know, I know.
Who cares? Who cares? Like, I get doing right by the player, whatever, all that kind of fun stuff, but like, I don't know. The team's just pissing away money the way that they constantly have. And again, I don't want to seem like I think the sky is falling, because I don't. I think this team is going to be a competitive team going into the second half of the season and get meaningful baseball down the stretch, and that's all you can ask for. But the way that they're constructed just boggles the mind to me. And like, I don't know. Dave Dombrowski is just a Phillies terrorist.
Yeah, yeah. Like everyone's moved past the long years of contracts now.
Yeah, and you're the part where it hurts, right? So like,
Unless they're young. It's young and long, or short and hefty.
sure. And if you have like this window and everybody in the world knows that this is a window, just maximize your damn chances to win in the window. I don't know. I don't need to go on this same rant that I've gone on multiple times, but it's just more of the same, right? And I
Yeah.
don't know. I've completely derailed this from the series, so I apologize for that.
I mean, it really went. I mean, the first game was good because they were fighting and they didn't give up. Every time they scored, except for the time we took the lead. That was good. I thought we were going to come back today when it was 5-4, but bullpen said no.
they've continued to not roll over and die. Like they're kind of fighting later into games, and
Yes,
that's good.
yes. I'm more upset about today than yesterday. That's just definitely.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that is totally fair. Anything else that you have about the series?
What the hell is wrong with Schwarber? What the hell? How is no one else sick?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, hopefully he's okay, right? Like, he has his neighborhood heroes event tonight. I guess we'll see if he's, feeling well enough to show up for that. The off day tomorrow, hopefully, he can help out as well.
Yeah, I'm just go get alert saying he died of uh, Ebola.
Ebola. Oh God,
That's been yeah, it's bad.
that was a crazy. The Ebola craze. That was like 10 years ago at this point.
No, no, it's happening again right now.
I
Like
know
I
it's
don't
happening
know.
again, but that original one 10 years ago, I remember like I was flying out of, I think it was like LaGuardia or Newark Airport, and it was like a day after like a case was found there, and I was like terrified. I remember how scared I was in the airport that day. Um, but weird times. So, one more thing about the series that I want to call out, or kind of about the series, like Tanner Banks is really struggling. At this point, he might be the guy that I trust the least. In the bullpen, his ERA sits at 6.75 for the season. I love Andrew Banks. Tanner Banks. Why did I say Andrew Banks? I love Tanner Banks as a person. I think that he is great. He seems funny. Um,
Well, no, no, no. Please tell me about your love for Andrew Banks, the Australian businessman and film producer.
but like Tanner Banks is allowing runs in like half of his appearances since the beginning of May, and I feel like that sounds about right. His ERA for the month is 7.36 after it was 7.27 last month. Like he does have an option remaining. What do you think about just optioning Tanner Banks?
Yeah, I would do. I wouldn't even be mad if we got rid of him. Just relievers like him are going to be like this. If they're going to be this bad, you just have to cut them loose and bring someone else up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Zach Pop might be coming back. Is Pop the solution?
Yeah, we released Genesis Cabrera recently, didn't we?
Yeah, the guy that hit Bryce Harper in the face.
Yeah, yeah, but he was a lefty though. That's basically what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
Let's look at who do we have in AAA as a lefty?
Backus is hurt. I don't really know what the timeline for Backus looks like.
Oh yeah, but he kept using him against righties, so I don't.
Yeah.
He comes back.
I mean, do they need another lefty? Like that's my question, right? Like right
True.
now
Yeah,
they
maybe we
have
don't.
right now they have three: Alvarado, Banks, Meza. I feel okay having two. Like I feel between two and three lefties is probably like the ideal number. Three is the ideal number, but like I don't mind having two lefties.
Here we go. We have Kirby Sneed in the minors right now.
You'd have to create a
Apparently,
40-man spot for him though, right?
did we just sign him 3 years ago? Oh yeah, signed 4 year. Yeah, we just signed him 3 days ago. Okay,
Okay. Oh, you'd have to make
so
a 40-man spot if you wanted to get him up.
yeah, last year in Staten Island, he had a really good year, but of course, you know that Staten Island.
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah,
different from.
career in the minors. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, yeah, he could be the guy that the random lefty that does well this year. Uh, but other than that, on the roster, we do not have anyone else. Yeah, Andrew Walling is hurt. So yeah,
I'm okay.
I
I'm
don't know
okay
how they.
having two.
Yeah. Oh, Tucker Davidson. We have Tucker Davidson. What's he doing this year? Not great. Not great, Joe. Not great. He's a starter.
Overall, how are you feeling about this team right now? Now they're exactly 500 as we sit here, 50 games into the season.
They're gonna
Describe
drive us nuts the whole year. That's all I'm gonna say. Obviously, I believe him a lot more than I did in April. Uh, but it is concerning that I mean, we did score a decent amount today without Schwarber. I just, uh, yeah, just it just kind of showed how weak our lineup is. Schwarber was gone. The lineups are terrible. I mean, Marsh is slumping right now.
Yeah.
He's swinging everything high in the zone again. Ugh, God.
Yeah.
And they brought up Kemp to not play him every day again. I just,
Well, he's not an everyday guy. That doesn't bother me.
uh, yeah. I
Let's
don't know,
look ahead.
but wait. Before we look ahead, what do you think about potential rotation boost with Gage Wood? He got promoted to Double A.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's still a ways out from
I know.
being on the major leagues, right? Like, I'm glad that he is doing well. He was clearly at a level that was too low for him to this point. So maybe Reading will give him a good challenge, especially since that's such a hitter-friendly environment. So, yeah, cool to see. Maybe we can try to get to Reading. Actually, we should try to do that, like how we did Lehigh Valley last year. I should try to get to Reading this year.
Uh, Yeah, if we can make it work, I'll come out. I want to see Gage Wood.
Yeah, let's do it. But looking ahead, and before we look ahead specifically into this Guardians series, let's talk a little bit about the schedule, right? The schedule gets quite tough. It gets quite tough for a little while here. Um, they play three against the AL Central leading Cleveland Guardians. Then they go out to the West Coast. They play three against the Padres who are a very good team this year. Once again, they're 29-19. And they play three in Los Angeles. Again, Dodgers are the Dodgers. They're 30-19. Then coming back to Citizens Bank Park, they play three more against the Padres. So that takes you through June 4th. And then after that, you have the White Sox come to town. And I know that the White Sox are not a team that like sounds threatening, but they're above 500. Like they are not a disaster. And then after that, you go to Toronto for 3 games. Toronto has struggled this year, but they won the World Series last year, and I think they are probably underperforming to some degree. And then after the Toronto series, you have to go to Milwaukee for 3 games. Like the schedule through that point, through June 14th, is hard. The Phillies are coming on a stretch of games that, in my opinion, is pretty much just as hard as that whole Cubs Braves part of the schedule. And if they're a real team, which I tend to think that they're fine, good, definitely not great. Either way, we'll learn a lot more over these next 4 weeks or so.
Yeah, the Guardians have no offense, so we have our best pitchers going up. So we should win that series, no problem. Knock on wood. Who knows?
Well, let's get into those pitching
Padres.
matchups real quick.
Yeah, sure.
For the Cleveland Guardians, um, you have Chris Sanchez at home, where he's pretty much unbeatable going against Gavin Williams, who is fine, but that pitching matchup favors the Phillies. You have Zach Wheeler going against Slade Cecconi. I'm so bad at pronouncing that name. Again, big pitching matchup favoring the Phillies. And then, not as great of a pitching matchup on Sunday with Painter against Parker Messick, who has a very funky delivery and is one of the better young pitchers in baseball. Right, he's a 2.45 ERA, and he looks that good. But yeah, I mean, this is a series that you figure the Phillies are probably going to take 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I will be upset if we don't.
Yeah, yep. That would be a bad sign for what's coming ahead. And you were talking about more about what's coming ahead, so go ahead.
Yeah, the Padres, their lineup doesn't scare me. I mean, watch them all figure it out by the time they get to us. But everyone's been underperforming. Uh, I mean, what is Tatis going to hit his first homer against us?
Maybe. It's a West Coast swing for the Phillies, though. Like anytime you go to the West Coast and you're the Philadelphia Phillies, you can't feel great about things.
No, you can't. We do not like the West Coast. Pacific Ocean is scary.
I might try to go to some of these games coming up next week against the Padres and Dodgers. That would be fun. Petco Park. I think I've said this on the podcast before. It is my favorite park in baseball. It's even better than I'm still going to call it AT&T Park in San Francisco.
uh, yeah, I, I, I can't. I have a baseball from when I was a kid that I can't remember if I went or not. I think I went. I think I went.
You should go
I
again.
think I liked it.
Go
I
out to
should.
San Diego for a few days.
I have travel coming up of going away for uh, to Savannah for a wedding.
Oh, very fun. Very fun. Cool. Well, anything else, Jeremy, that you have about the Phillies, about life, about anything for this podcast?
No, not really. Yeah, there's not much to talk about. Really, just kind of a mess series. You know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm with you. One more thing for me. I am excited to watch the Survivor season 50 finale tonight. For if there's any Survivor fans out there, though, I am very upset at who they're telegraphing is going to win. And if that is what happens, I'm not going to like the season that much. It's going to be a little worse than Winners at War for like the returning season rankings for anybody that cares about Survivor. Um, but Survivor 50 finale, pretty big deal. But anyways, glad that it was a day game today so that I could watch tonight. But with that
oh, I
being
mean,
said,
oh, I mean, Yoshi, the new Yoshi game comes out on the Switch 2 tonight.
there
I'm
you
gonna get
go.
it. It
There
looks
you
like a
go.
little baby game, but I'm gonna get it.
Fun stuff. Switch 2, slowly building up its library.
I know.
Anyways, thank you very much for joining, Jeremy. And thank you all for listening. We will talk to you after this upcoming Guardian series. And have a good one.
Bye.